Let's just pick up on the issue of the conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan. We were just mentioning it with Samuel Green. Now, foreign ministers of both countries are holding talks in Moscow to resolve the weeks-long border conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh. This is the latest effort to end the worst flare-up in violence between the two for over a quarter of a century. Armenia's leader is saying he is ready to resume peace talks, but the Azeri president seems to be backing a military solution to the conflict for now. Sinem Koseoglu is live in Azerbaijan. That's where the president addressed the nation earlier today. First, we'll bring in journalist Aleksandra Stojanovich-Godfroid. She's joining us from Moscow on the Russian mediation efforts. They're still going on. What are we hearing about the expected outcome?
Yes, these negotiations, the first direct talks between any officials of Armenia and Azerbaijan since the conflict started, are entering their fifth hour now. The goal that was voiced ahead of this meeting is actually not very high. Is to basically achieve a truce, a ceasefire, a humanitarian kind, that the bodies of the killed ones can be collected, and also exchange of prisoners could happen. Now, that is probably because on anything else they could not agree, so there were calls for immediate ceasefire, to going back to the negotiation tables from all the co-chairs of the OSCE Minsk group, so Russia, France, and United States, but that didn't work. So now we were told they are actually to talk about the possibility of ceasefire, to exchange prisoners, and to collect the deceased. Now, these talks happen after hours of phone calls of Russian President Vladimir Putin with the heads of state of Armenia and Azerbaijan, and they are here on his invitation, an invitation that one cannot refuse. Now, as you said, our Armenian Prime Minister, ahead of this talk, said that Armenia is ready to renew negotiation process, but he also later said that what Armenia is facing is Azeri-Turkish aggression on Armenian people, and that people in Nagorno-Karabakh are actually close to humanitarian catastrophe. He also said that Armenia is still thinking about recognizing Nagorno-Karabakh, and that also other countries should do that. Now, this is something that we know is unacceptable for Azerbaijan, and what we saw the previous days and basically previous years as well is that these two sides have conditions that are unacceptable for the other.
All right. Thank you very much for that update from Moscow. Let's now bring in Sinem Koseoglu. She'll give us an update from Azerbaijan, where, as we're saying, the president spoke earlier on today. What was the takeaway message?
Well, Doreen, as you said, he said that the solution for this problem was military, and he proved that. Actually, what he said basically is that in order to bring Armenian side to the table, he had to fight against it. He had to fight through military means. And he says now it was the military fight was the first phase, but also diplomacy, politics are going to work. So according to Ilham Aliyev, it's first military and then politics. And he said that's how Armenians came to the table. And he, in a way, accused Armenia Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan, especially because earlier in the week he said that Nagorno-Karabakh is an Armenian, is Armenian, it belongs to Armenia. And he said, if you are to repeat this wording again, then there will be no talks in Moscow. Apparently, the initial wish for the Azeri side is that the Armenians unconditionally withdraw from the occupied 7 regions, adjacent regions surrounding Nagorno-Karabakh, and then talks for Nagorno-Karabakh will be in place. There are some areas that the Azeri military has already advanced, overthrew some villages, of course, but what the foreign ministers who have been in direct contact for the first time since September 27, what they are speaking right now and what we will hear from the presser is going to be binding. But Ilham Aliyev was so decisive and determined that his conditions, that Armenian forces withdrawal is necessary for talks. But apparently, since they came around the table, there are some concessions from both sides.
All right, Sinem Koseoglu, thank you very much.